I'm talking about the many limitations that we have taken for granted from the environment around us and how these boxes of our minds prevent us from being successful. It is easy to make excuses and it's hard to take responsibility for your life and for the future. But once you do that, you can be truly successful. Stay tuned.
3 separate devices. This is one device.
Associate with people who are better than yourself and act.
I'm going to make him an offer again.
Hey everybody, I'm Sam and this is Antiversal. So today I was thinking about why so many people just are not successful, they just can't seem to make it, A lot of us will probably, say that success has a strong correlation with intelligence, how smart you are, obviously some work and resources, but, you gotta be smart. And I just don't seem to think that success and intelligence has as strong correlation as we would like to think. Because if you say to yourself, I was just not born so intelligent, there, these other people, but I just can't do it, I just wasn't born with it, that's it. And that makes it so easy, right? It's so easy, and, a lot of people like it easy because if you was not just born with it, then it's not your fault, You don't have the power, you don't have the key to your success. So you're just like, I have to accept it and that's it. But the moment that you think, maybe I can do something about it, or maybe I need to believe, that's the moment that things become very scary, guys, right? Because then if you want to be successful, you have to do something, you have to push yourself, it will be hard, right? It will be hard, I have to take responsibility. And if you are not successful, then it's your fault, you have to think about that. And oh my God, a lot of people don't want to think about it. They don't want it to be their fault. They don't want to actually go out there and take responsibility and take hold of their lives. So they just say, it's just not my thing, I just can't do it. And it's so easy. And then I was thinking about that. I believe success actually has much stronger correlation with creativity and, belief that you can actually do something. And, that's imagination, that's, as I said, creativity and ideas. And you would say, but, to be creative, to have ideas, that's again intelligence, you have to be smart to think about those, stuff. And I'm not convinced about that, because think about how many, very simple people, how crazy or interesting ideas they have. And, even if you think about children, so many children that just grow up to be normal people, not geniuses or anything. They have so crazy imagination. They have such ideas, and they believe in those ideas. And even if you look at yourselves, I'm sure that anyone, when you were a child, you had some kind of imagination. You had some kind of ideas. You wanted to be something, and you actually believed that you can be that something. And what happened? What happened? And when you say to someone, I wanted to be that and that, and it was so crazy and so on, and speak about your creativity, imagination, they say, you had a good childhood, you had a great childhood, but now you're an adult, right? You have to grow up, you have to be realistic. And we just don't realize that, so imprinted our minds that we don't even realize how we brand childhood with imagination, with creativity, with ideas, with belief, and with freedom. And then on the opposite side, we brand adulthood with not being creative, but being limited, but not believing in the world, not believing in the people around you, not believing in yourself, and being a slave, And when you're a child, you believed in your family, you believed in your friends, you believed in the world, you believed in yourself. And I believe that's probably the one thing that's most crippling to so many people, to the majority of people around there. We just don't realize how we have some kind of set, limits and boundaries in our head and terms, and we just say them. And they are encrypted in our minds, and they limit us. For the successful people, or maybe they believe, right? They believe they can change something. They believe they can do something. They were creative. Absolutely, whoever you think about that's really successful and achieved something, you would say, they had some kind of idea, or, they did something extraordinary or so on. And, there's different kind of people, but we don't realize that what they did was they did the best they could every day, little by little. It's not like they woke up and it was absolutely different world, and they had today I'm achieving everything. I'm becoming a billionaire. I'm becoming, a world leader or something like that. No, that happens every day, step by step. And what they did was they believed. They had an idea and they went after it. And so many people, especially because I'm reading more about technology, with technology, there are so many people that now are very successful. And when they had ideas in the beginning, everybody were telling them, what? That's crazy, that doesn't make sense. They were limiting them. But what they did was they believed in themselves, they believed in their idea, they let their imagination and creativity grow, and they worked every day for that, and in time they achieved it. Even if you read about Albert Einstein, now I don't think that there is a person that probably doesn't know who he is. We all believe that he was a genius, he was a great mind. But do you know that all of the science community didn't believe what Einstein was talking about for years and years to come? He won the Nobel Prize and they still didn't believe in him, a year before that. So you have to realize, you have to go after your ideas. And, just a brief example, Steve Jobs, I think we can probably all agree that he did achieve a lot, right? And he was very creative. He's if you ask someone about innovation, they'll probably mention Steve Jobs. And what is his favorite and, most famous quote? What is it? The ones that are crazy enough to believe they can change the world end up doing so. The ones that are crazy enough to believe they can change the world. So I think that's very powerful, and that's what sets back a lot of people, You have to believe, you have to take responsibility in and go after it. No matter if you're a religious person or not, if you have faith or not, I think we can all agree that there is a lot of wisdom for example, in the Bible, right? A very, very interesting thing that I remember always is, it is said, for those, I'm not saying exactly as it is, but that's the meaning. For those who believe, there is nothing impossible. There is nothing impossible for those who believe. So I think there's just a great power in that. And, for example, now I think the same idea is very popular, but probably we don't realize that with, the law of attraction and The Secret, And so many people think about that and talk about that, right? If you believe in, what you want to achieve, you'll achieve it. If you want something very hard and you say about that, talk about that, and think about it every day, you'll have it. And, I think there is really a lot of power in that. And I think there is little flow though too, because instead of saying if you want something, you should have it, I think a better term is if you aspire to something, you should have it. Because aspiring means that you want it, you believe that you can have it, you can do it, so on. You let your imagination, creativity flow, and you go out there and do something about that. Because again, people, as I said, we like it to be easy, right? So, someone says to you, you can lie in your bed and think about that, yacht that you want to, and it shall be, you shall have it. Well, I don't think that's how it happens, because no matter what you think you believe, or you want to, or you say you want to, all your entity needs to express that. And by all your entity, I mean the most powerful thing that you can show what you want to is to actually do it. Your action need to speak again. So with aspiring to something, I would say that yes, you believe it, you say that you believe it, and you go out there and try and do the best you can to have it. And I believe that's when you really have it. That's the actual law of attraction. When you believe you can change the situation around you, if you believe you can change, your life, by believing so and by doing so, you actually change your life, right? Because you believe you can bring change. You go out there, put your creativity in your work, in action. Well, that's what change means. You change your life, you change the reality around you. And I believe that's very powerful. I think we need to think about how many terms and ideas have been put in our minds, and they actually limit us. And we have to make a conscious effort to free ourselves of those limitations. Think of childhood as freedom and, and good things. That's wonderful. But don't think about adulthood as something limiting, And obviously, you're an adult, you have to take responsibility. You have a lot of things you need to do. That's absolutely like that. I don't say, be some kind of crazy person and don't take responsibility about your actions. On the contrary, I say take responsibility, because everything you do and everything that's around you, it's probably because of actions that you're doing or not doing. Let's think about all those limitations and try to free ourselves and aspire more. Wake up and say what you aspire to do today. Wake up and, say what you aspire to do next week, next year, next 5 years. And, then your ideas start to flow. You start to believe in that. And when you start believing in that, you go out there and do it. See you next time.